What is going on, you guys? So today I have another episode for you where I'm going to be reviewing a YouTube channel called Darius M. And the title here is Modern Women Are Doomed. Men are walking away from relationships and marriage. Let's get into it.
If they want to go for a coffee, pay me. If they want to go for a walk in the park, pay me. If they want to be your gym buddy, pay me to be your gym buddy. Pay me, baby. You want me to message you on Snapchat? You want me to send pictures? Pay me.
So, pay for play. Let's start the video off hot. Come on. That's exactly what she's suggesting. There's a difference between supporting your relationship, your wife, the mother of your kids. By the way, that takes good interviewing skills so you avoid red flags like that one that just showed up. Because really what she was just saying was pay for play, straight up. And okay, before this video gets any farther, I've watched some of this guy's videos before. They're good and they're helpful for guys to be able to spot red flags, start to understand some things that are happening. Now, some of these videos, it's like the loudest voices on the internet. So before we move any farther, I encourage you not to fall into the trap of watching too many of these videos or watching too many red pill videos. What I would say is watch enough or learn enough about the red pill so you have an ability to navigate dating and relationships. So you can actually attract a high quality woman, feminine, fit, friendly, all that good stuff, who's girlfriend or mother material. Why do I say this? Because a lot of guys use some certain podcasts or red pill content or videos like these, like they watch too many of them, and it's like a circle jerk, basically. What they do is they use it as an excuse for why they can't get the life they want, why they can't have the relationship that they want, why they can't date, basically. And look, I totally get it. Like, I've been red pilled before, by an older relationship. I have plenty of family who's divorced. I've heard of it all from guys, right? So here's the thing. We're guys, so we can say this to each other. I have empathy for you, man. And at the same time, you can stay bitter. Wow. This is why I'm giving up, going my own way. This is why relationships don't work, blah, blah, blah. Or you can get better. Learn how to navigate it so you can actually be the guy and attract the right kind of woman, whether that's in the West or somewhere else, or just figure it out. Because you get to choose your hard, right? You can choose your hard, which is poor me, victim mindset. This is why I can't have the relationship and the woman that I want. Or you can figure it out. So you can have that beautiful relationship. Supportive, respectful, loving, and maybe even a family. All right? Let's keep going.
What is something that you never told your ex?
That I cheated on him more than once. I told him I cheated on him once, I actually cheated on him like 10 times.
It's an evil world we live in.
Same guy or different guys?
Same guy. But we were together for 5 years.
Y'all were together for 5 years?
5 years.
Why you decided
5
to?
years.
Because we were together for 5 years. What do you mean? You're gonna have the same for that long? Like, that's crazy.
It is my right to conceive with a man who is ready to. Why, oh why has it not happened? I should be getting grapes fed to me. I should be getting forehead kisses when I'm busy working. I should be told to not worry about a thing. I should be chained to the bedroom.
There were men that I literally knew I had no future with this person. They were placeholders, and I would tell them anything. Yes, placeholders. And I would tell them anything to like reel them in, to get them to think that I liked them or cared for them more than I actually did, because it was like an ego boost. Like,
Jesus.
to have a guy fiend for you, or
I am absolutely convinced that
That's definitely manipulative and for sure toxic, even though people throw that around too much, that word.
men don't actually want relationships. Like, men want their lives as is. They want to go about their day exactly as it is, do whatever they would normally do, and just want somebody there when it's convenient for them or, for the things they want to do.
Men want peace, respect, and love. It's actually easy. We're pretty simple.
Key problem I have with marriage as it is done currently here in the West and in other places, but certainly the clay in which I work, is that there are certain promises the law can enforce, and there are certain promises it can't. So if we acknowledge, if we say the quiet part out loud, that in the majority of heterosexual marriages, the man brings protection and providing, and the woman brings kindness, warmth, and care, right, and sex. That's the economy. That's the economy. I didn't make that up. Don't get fucking mad at me in the comments. I didn't make it up. It was here before me. It's going to be here after me. I promise, right? So that's the game. That's the economy. His roles, his obligations are enforceable by law. So state power can be used to enforce his obligations, not hers. The court cannot order her to be nice to him, or to fuck him, or to stay pretty, or to stay sweet and friendly to him and kind to him, or speak nicely of him, or raise the children in a meaningful way that creates value to him instead of teaching them to disrespect him, right? But his promises in that, shelter, food, financial obligations, court can force you to do that. And if you don't do it, they can put you in jail, or they can take away your driver's license, your professional licenses. So what is that? When you have a contract where only one side is enforceable by law, under penalty of law, like that is a dangerous game to play if you're a man, period.
If she sleeps with you on the first date, she probably doesn't like you.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
I need a man.
Port 35.
Yep. I need a man.
Women will stay a lot longer with a guy who cheats on her, and hell, even in some cases, with a guy who actually beats her. They're less likely to leave those guys than they are to leave a guy who she finds boring. A man who bores a woman is just setting himself up for failure.
I went on a date. This man...
Okay, I was gonna disagree with that, and then I realized what he was saying. It's because there's a lot of people who are used, like their comfort zone is toxic or super toxic. Like, you should never hit a woman, and you should never cheat on her, by the way. That should go without saying. No one should have to tell you that. But I understand what he's saying now. I was like, whoa, like, that's pretty extreme. That's intense. And then I realized that he was saying most people stay in toxicity because you get the excitement of a roller coaster even though it's bad for you. And so what they classify as boring is actually healthy. It just feels boring because you're not having this super drama fest of soap opera, telenovela situation. So yeah, I mean, that was an insane clip.
Told me, I asked him about like the type of women that he likes or something. He says, I like women that like me. And I was like, you know what? That's an OG statement, but it's so perfect. Older people, they don't have time for the fluff and stuff. Anytime I date an older guy, they're not playing any games, okay? If they have a smidge of like, I don't think she likes me, they'll be done with you. Versus a guy your age or younger, they're like, she's not acting super excited, but I'm still gonna take her on another date. They'll still try. Older guys are like, I don't think you like me, so yeah, we don't have to date anymore. Like, they're just more like, they're not wasting their time.
Oh, she ain't never lied.
So one thing worth mentioning too about like, it doesn't have to be a marriage. You don't have to go that far. You can have a great relationship regardless, even have a family that way without the marriage. One thing worth mentioning, because you don't want to get too sucked into this kind of content, right? Because you can't have a healthy relationship and not stay bitter. Up to you, bro. What I will say is basically a woman it could go both ways for men too, right? But your partner can be either an anchor, like on a ship, so it'll sink you, or it's like two horses pulling in different directions. You want to be pulling in the same direction, like teammates, basically. Now, you got to be the leader as the man, masculine frame, boundaries, boom, boom, boom. And think about it the other way too. If she's an anchor, no wonder, like these are all examples of anchor women, that sink the ship. Now, on the flip side, if you can there's a lot of successful men, like really wealthy financially and abundant, like they're happy in other areas of their life because they picked the right partner, the right woman. So basically, instead of an anchor, she was like rocket booster. So the guy was maybe going to be successful, or he was successful, and then he was even more successful because he picked the right girl. So remember that.
I used to say this years ago, date people who like you. Because you've been trying to date people that you like and you've been getting it wrong all these years. Finally get somebody that like you. Why? Because they gonna show you day in and day out that they like you, that they want to be with you, that they appreciate you.
I'm not sure why nobody wants to speak up about this, but I guess I'll be the one to do it. There is a serious shortage of attractive, eligible, mentally stable, emotionally available men. We need to get a search party together, figure out what has happened, where have they gone, And what do we do about this? Because it's a problem.
Look, I have said this before and I will say it again. There is no shortage of good men. It is simply that you don't see the men that are good men in your life as dateable, but they're probably good friends. Like they're probably in your friend zone. And then for the good men that aren't in your life, it is because they're not looking to date. They probably spent far too long in a relationship that took advantage of their goodness. Those men are either working, they're either at home, or they're just hanging out with friends or doing some sort of hobby in seclusion. So if you really do want a good man, you better look in your friend zone or do all that you can to put out positive energy about men, because they will see you and they might take a chance on you then.
So one thing to touch on, the guy that was in the previous video, basically you never want to be in a position where you're trying to convince someone like, oh, I wonder if they like me. Like that's bullshit. Like it's like sales essentially, right? You don't try to convince someone, and sure they talk about like objection handling, but that's bullshit. I mean, if your product was that good, they would want to buy it. They would be banging down your door. Hey, I need that product. It's going to help me a lot. Same thing with dating, right? Like, you should be that awesome that they're like, I want that guy. I want that guy. And by the way, that means based on all the videos that are showing up, because you might think, oh, well, that's not going to happen if there's all these toxic women. Wah, wah, wah. Well, guess what? You're going to attract the high quality women by being that guy. And yes, that means having a good character, still being that good guy, not too nice, not a pushover, not a doormat, developing your character, maybe going out on some adventures so you have some stories to tell, and building yourself in all these other areas, right? Like your health, your finances, these are all givens. You know this. It's not about being the richest guy in the world. It's about being able to provide for a potential family. That's this evolutionary psychology, and even if they don't say it, that's what's going on in their subconscious. So remember that. Like, you shouldn't ever be convincing someone to like you. You should be so good that they can't ignore you, and they're attracted to you. You're like a magnet for them.
Women are the only prize. Men are.
Yes, she is. Women are we have intrinsic value. We are the prize. Like,
what?
Men go to work for women.
Wait, what?
Yeah, why do you go to work? To pay bills for your woman?
No, for myself.
I caught her talking to other men, and she won't get out of my car. Now she's crying. So I caught her talking to other dudes. Oh, wow, that must be sad. God, that must be terrible. Oh, man. What were their names again? I love how you said they were just your friends and you were sending them ass pictures. Get the fuck out of my car.
This is a perfect example of why when she says that these dudes are just her friend, she is full of shit. Let me tell you what she means when she says he's just a friend. It means, one, he's the backup plan if something happens. Number two, it means that they have already hooked up and she's keeping him, again, on the back burner so her body count doesn't go up if the relationship ends. The other thing that it can mean is that she basically chose you as her second choice. So if that dude becomes available, she's gonna dump your ass. And lastly, what it also means is that they haven't hooked up yet. He still wants to hook up. She's kind of interested in it because she's not really interested in you, and you're basically just a placeholder. Stop letting these women tell you that these men are just friends. There is literally no such thing. And for every single person that comes in my comments saying, oh, it's insecurity, no, not with Snapchat nowadays, not with all these hidden messages that you can hide on Facebook. Oh, you need to be cautious, be aware, stop being naive, and not let these women play you. And lastly,
you should not have Snapchat if you're over 12 years old, by the way.
Just remember that she's only crying because she got caught. Not only is that abusive and manipulative, but what it does is it turns the good men bad. So congratulations on making yet another good man turn bad, where women have no accountability for their actions like this. But what it also does is it ruins it for the rest of the women that are out here actually crying and getting their feelings hurt because men can't decipher the difference between being manipulated and real tears. Okay, bye.
I don't know when they're finally going to realize that more and more men are single because they want to be single, because they've built up their lives. They like their day-to-day routine. They buy what they want and can afford. They spend time on whatever hobby they enjoy. But what they don't want is making the mistake of sacrificing those things for something less than what they already have. And I get it. We've heard that women are raising their standards, but ladies, men are too.
They're the men who would wake up just so they could be the man who wakes up next to you.
Well, I'm sorry to have to break it to you, but those men, they've already woken up and they've left. Because you see, men have now realized there's no real benefit to waking up next to you. We've seen that while you demand things from us, you offer little to nothing in return. At least not anything we can't already get without involving ourselves in a relationship with you. And on top of that, for decades now, y'all told us you didn't want us. Y'all told us you didn't need us. We heard you. And now we're off making a better life for ourselves. One that doesn't involve you. Would we like to have a great relationship? Sure, who wouldn't? But men have finally figured out that the risk simply isn't worth the reward anymore. And now that you guys are figured out that we figured it out, well, now you're wondering, where did all the men go? And then there's this.
Like, where are the men who would walk 500 miles?
And I would walk 500 miles. Now you know why I was never the lead singer in any of the bands I was in. Anyway, last I knew, they were raking in the royalties still from that song they created 30 years ago that I still can't get out of my head.
And then walk another 500 miles for a total of 1,000 just to fall down at your door.
No, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but there's no way in hell I'm singing that god-awful song to you. All kidding aside, the point I want to make is that women often want men to meet the expectations of things they hear in songs or see in the movies. As I frequently call it, they're searching for that perfect Disneyland prince, the one that doesn't actually exist, but yet they all think does and that they deserve. Men see it for what it is, an expectation of perfection, something no one can achieve. And knowing that, why would they enter into a relationship with someone who expects that of them? Someone who actually believes a man should walk 500, 1,000, even 1,000,000 miles just to be with them. Men are done playing these silly little games, ladies. Life is not a rom-com or some romantic song. Life is, well, life. And the completely unrealistic expectations that you've all set now, oh wait, sorry, the higher standards, have reached a level of absurdity that men look at it and go, yeah, no more, we're done. Especially when they realize that they're not going to get anything in return, no matter how hard they work to woo you over.
Where are they at?
Well, to wrap this up, where are they?
Okay, so let's hit on that just for a second here. So, for example, recently I heard a song when I was in the gym. Yeah, I think it's really popular too. It's like, ooh, she's a nasty girl. Ooh, she's a nasty girl. And that's like subliminal messaging, like hypnosis almost. Like it just keeps going over and over. So this is what your daughters are listening to. Keep that in mind, right? Like this is what women are listening to. Their role models are people like Ariana Grande, who steal husbands from their wives, by the way. What else? Hollywood, of course, brainwashes a lot of people, men too. They get into a Disney mindset so that sometimes they're too naive, like they're too romantic. And then the women, like for example, they're into like soap operas or telenovelas or like smut books or Sex in the City. And so they think that's cool, like that's like real life. And so they're basically too promiscuous. They do all these weird things. Oh, it's going to be so exciting. It's such a roller coaster if I cheat on my husband. In what world do you live in? Right? I think you see what I'm saying. Like, none of that is real, and people are too easily influenced. By the way, always question where your information is coming from, even from me. Okay? I'm even going to say that. Like, too many people watching Instagrams, TikToks, YouTube videos, or Hollywood, music, anything that we just talked about, and they're allowing it to, change their life. Like the amount of breakups that happened because of the Barbie movie was a lot. It was a lot. And I'm not going to say anything else about that, but I think you get the gist. Let's finish the video.
Is sitting home or hanging out with their buds, playing video games, playing guitar, enjoying life, no longer having to deal with the drama, no longer having to deal with the financial drain of expensive dates, only to get ghosted shortly thereafter, no longer dealing with the ridiculous expectations, higher standards that you've all set. Ladies, I'm sorry to tell you, but men didn't create this situation. You did. But men have now seen it for what it is, and they're done and walking away. And the really sad part is, they ain't coming back anytime soon.
Awesome, guys. Well, definitely a good video here. And again, remember, don't stay bitter, learn, and then get better so you can attract the right kind of partner. Because here's the thing. Obviously, there's a lot of good points in this video and good shows of red flags for you to look out for. I'm not disputing that. So this is why it's so important to avoid red flags in toxic situations so you can actually find the right person for you. And not let your ego get in the way and convince you, I definitely need to participate in hookup culture like everybody else, right? I'll be just like everybody else when I do that. I'll fit in if I do that, right? All the boys are going to be proud of me if I do that, right? It's all bullshit. Just figure out what you actually want. Don't stay bitter. Get better. And just realize, the simple point here is men want peace, to be understood, respected, loved, a fulfilling relationship where the girl is not an anchor. She's rocket boosters for you so you both succeed together, right? It's easy. And I can't believe that there's such complication about this online and in modern dating. So this is why it's a train wreck. All right, that's enough out of me. If you're interested at all, I want to make a special offer for you for making it this far. So I was helping out How to Beast. It's another YouTuber with his dating coaching program for a while. So we were actually helping guys basically create a healthy and abundant dating life so they could avoid red flags and attract the right kind of partner. So if you're interested in that, I'm offering free 15-minute calls to see, learn about your situation and see if I can help. I put a calendar link for that in the description below. Outside of that, man, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. You got this, bro.